Welcome back to Story in 5 Pages. If you're new here, this segment is called Ask Story in 5. It's where we, certified life coaches, give viewers advice for how to solve their problems. Today's story is called Am I the Problem?
I've been in a serious relationship with my boyfriend for over a year now. A few months after we met, he introduced me to a friend and her daughter. He told me they met when she was his ESL teacher. They have known each other for about 26 years and have a very close relationship. Their families spent quite a bit of time together on a regular basis. She frequently helped them resolve legal, business related, or even personal matters. He told me she knows how to do everything. The first time I went with him to her house, she had asked him to put a TV stand together. I was taken aback when her daughter excitedly opened the door and hugged him. Then he walked around the room and hugged his friend. I was thinking, what's all this hugging? While sitting there, I didn't notice anything weird. He and her daughter went to work putting together the stand while she and I began a conversation, first with small talk, and somehow we ended up discussing my immigration woes. She asked to see my communications from USCIS and explained them to me. It turned out I only needed to submit one piece of paper that somehow got left out of my application. I contacted the attorney that did the work for me while sitting there and told him what she said. He agreed. Eventually, my issue was resolved. Shortly after, my boyfriend went back to her house to put together an office chair for her daughter. But I didn't really want to go this time, despite her giving me an open invitation. I did send some paperwork that I needed completed for my children's school. They were starting somewhere new. She did it. A couple of weeks later, he went to visit a different friend who was dying of cancer and stopped by to see her while he was in her city. I called him while he was there. He answered. I heard a lot of laughter in the background. She greeted me, but I was skeptical about what was really going on. A couple of weeks later, he went again. I asked why was he going to her house so frequently, and was he sure they didn't have a thing between them? He said it was because she had just moved into a new place and had gradually purchased furniture and other organization pieces that needed to be put together. He said she helps him all the time, so why not help her? She's his family. He reminded me how she helped me with my immigration problem and my kids' school forms. Besides, he said, she's 10 years older than me. She says she sees me as a baby. She had expressly told me that she doesn't like me and younger than her. He told me she's 60 years old. That actually made it worse because she looks at least 20 years younger than that. I have to mention that me and my children moved in with him after about 6 months of dating. I asked why didn't she come over to our house? He said because we have pets and she's allergic to animals. He's seen her get sick from being in the vicinity of someone who had been around an animal and the animal wasn't even there. So he went, but he stayed so long, I had to call him and say it was time to come home. When he got back, he didn't seem to think anything was wrong. I want to tell him not to visit her anymore. Am I being unreasonable?
Oh, absolutely. Well, let me backtrack. First, thank you for sending in your question. What's really the issue here? Let's break down the facts. First, they've known each other for 26 years. Second, you've been dating him for a year and a half, and he's only gone to her house 3 times within the course of a few months over the year and a half period. Thirdly, he does answer the phone when you call. She does greet you, and she has extended you an open invitation to her home, but you choose not to go. An open invitation means you don't even have to call ahead, you can just show up. So, really, he's not hiding any part of this relationship with his friend from you. If they really had something going on, you probably wouldn't even know about her, much less know where she lives. When he goes to visit her, you could easily just pop up at any moment and catch them in a compromising position if there were anything to catch. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense for that to be the case. My question is, what exactly has happened to make you uncomfortable with the friendship between the two of them? I have to say, 26 years is a long time, and I'm sure you're not his first ever girlfriend, so that means partners have come and gone and she still remains. Now I'll let you do with that what you will. But as you said yourself, they're like family at this point. Look at it from his perspective. If he asked you to distance yourself from a long-time platonic friend who has made an effort to include you in whatever they do and poses no obvious outward threat, would you? Partners come and go, but family remains, whether by blood or by choice. What if he destroys his friendship with her and then you and him don't work out? Once again, stepping into the alternate perspective, if you cut your friend off for your partner and then you and your partner break up, would you expect your friend to accept you back with open arms? Even further, if you were a friend who got cut off for a person who your friend just met, would the friendship ever be the same? Another thing you have to consider is that she helped you with a big problem that has changed the trajectory of your life, and a small problem that may have made a few things easier for you in some way. Undoubtedly, she's done the same for him. He might feel gratitude, which is why he runs when she calls. He knows that she has helped him time and time again, and he wants to repay her. And to be real, if she's doing lawyer esque business related things for him like she did for you, then obviously she doesn't need him to do those things for her. Perhaps the only way he feels he can reciprocate her kindness is by doing little things, such as putting together furniture. The situation is turning into a ball of confusion when it doesn't need to. Normally, I would suggest inserting yourself into the friendship by tagging along to outings, etc. However, they don't take outings. They've only seen each other 3 times in a year and a half, and they've already tried to include you. So I'm really struggling to find the issue. I need a follow up. Is there something you left out? I would encourage you to do a little introspection and try to determine where you might feel inadequate and strengthen your self confidence in that area. I think that either maybe you have some insecurities you need to work out, or he gives you cheating vibes or has done something else in the relationship to make you question his faithfulness or loyalty. But you haven't been able to find any clues, any tangible evidence as to why you have this feeling. So you're just latching on to the first anomaly you could find. I think approaching him and asking him to cut off his friendship with her would be a mistake because it comes off as controlling. Instead, perhaps you should put your feelings into words. You have to listed it here. But what exactly are you feeling and seeing on a daily basis that's leading you to be distrustful? Because that's what it is, right? If you're worried about him cheating on you with his friend, it's because you don't trust him. It can't just be that he goes when she calls. He could go when work calls. He could go when his sister calls. He could go whenever, wherever, and blame it on the call. So it's not just that. Give him specific examples and moments in time where he did something that gave you pause. Have him explain it, and then the two of you work to come up with a compromise for how to move forward. Hopefully, this will resolve your issue. What advice do y'all have for her? Do you think she's the problem? Put your opinion in the comments. What are some other things that she can consider? Have you ever been in a situation like this? What did you do? How did you resolve it? Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you have a story you want read or if you need advice, then send it to storyinfivepages at gmail.com. The email will be in the description box. Catch you in the next one. Okay, thanks. Bye.